The defending world champs, humiliated, embarrassed, and eliminated. This is the first time, in fact, since 1938, Germany is out of the World Cup in the first round. German fans could sense from the opening kickoff that something seemed off with the team yesterday.
The team didn't fight, not even after the first goal. A bad match.
It was really bad and they deserve to crash out. The preparation was really bad this time. I hope they will learn the lesson to prepare themselves better the next time.
All right, joining me to break this down, have in studio our sports correspondent, Jonathan Regev. But let's start with I-24 News Germany correspondent, Polina Garev, who joins us live from Berlin. Polina, we heard it there. Germany knew what they had to do to advance, and a lot of people are saying they did not rise to the occasion. They played kind of without energy, without focus. What is the reaction in the streets of Berlin today?
Well, I'm standing right now in Berlin's Fan Mile, which is usually a place for celebrations. There are 5 mega screens like this one spread along the boulevard between Brandenburg Gate and Berlin's Victory Column. There are hundreds of beer stalls, so usually people here celebrating. But this was not the case yesterday. Already after the first goal, people started leaving, and when the game was over, there were no cries of joy here. I have to say that the atmosphere and also the reactions I've been hearing after the game are pretty similar to what you've been hearing from the fans that spoke right now. I spoke to some tourists right after the game, and they're saying that they were expecting to root for Germany once their own national team was eliminated from the tournament. They never expected the opposite would happen, but the signs were there already. Before the match began, there was some concern also in the press that the team is not ready, that the players chosen for the team this time were perhaps not the most suitable ones. And this is also what you're seeing in the headlines of newspapers today. I have to say this is a very big news day for Germany. There's a EU summit coming up. There is a coalition crisis that averted. But the headlines of newspapers are filled with talk of soccer. What happened yesterday? How come Germany was eliminated? And many are calling this a wake-up call, that Germany should not rely on its reputation anymore, that it should take serious steps in order to improve its level of its game. And also, I have to say, some are wondering how come the world is gloating right now to see Germany humiliated. There are, of course, all the tweets did not go unnoticed by Germany. So this is definitely some calls for some soul searching for Germany.
All right, of course, it goes beyond the soccer pitch. It's now getting personal. Polina, thank you so much for joining us live from Berlin. But on the other hand, Brazil won its group, handing Serbia a punishing 2-0 loss. It's moving on to the knockout rounds. Brazil will face Mexico in the next match. And already, of course, Brazil are heavily favored. Mexico lost 3-0 in their game, but because of Germany's loss, they did advance.
First, I'm apparently at peace. I'm still going to have a drink tonight, for sure. I will allow myself. The players we work with, we have to have a feeling, to have a good nose, really. The World Cup is made up of good human relationships, and you have to feel how the dressing room is established.
All right, back now in studio with Jonathan. Jonathan, so Mexico backed in thanks to Germany's loss. Germany, the defending world champs, knocked out in the group stages. This keeps happening. The defending champs not even making it to the knockout round the next year. Why is this a relatively common thing?
Maybe the feeling after a team wins the World Cup, they feel that they're better than they actually are. Whether it's Germany in 2014, Spain in 2010, or Italy in 2006, they won it with great team display, and the stars, they perhaps think they're better by themselves than as a team, and then comes the next World Cup 4 years later and they're through. It happened to Germany now, it happened to Spain 4 years ago, it happened to Italy in 2010, and it even happened to France. They were 1998 champions, knocked out in 2002.
So 4 of the last 5 years.
Exactly. So this is obviously not by chance. There's a trend behind this. This is obviously something to look into.
All right, so most of the knockout games have now been settled except for tonight's games, and this is a group tonight. Everyone can really play, except 3 of the 4 teams can play their way in. A lot of drama at stake. Of course, our senior producer, Shayakir, is England winning the whole thing, so he wants them to win tonight. But what's going on tonight?
An interesting thing, though, with England and Belgium. They're both qualified. The game between England and Belgium will decide who finishes the group on top. Actually, don't tell anybody, they would be better losing. Why so? Because there are brackets, and the bracket in which the second place team from this group, from England's group, will go to, seems to be the easier bracket.
The weaker side.
Exactly, with Croatia, with Sweden, with Switzerland, all very good teams, but whoever finishes first in this group, they'll play in the bracket where Argentina, France, Portugal, Uruguay, and Brazil are. So maybe it's better to lose this game.
You're not the first one to bring this up. This has been common in the last couple of days, articles written about this perverse incentive to want to advance, but not to win the group, to come in second, because you want to be on the easier side of the draw. I mean, what's going to happen tonight? You're not going to play to lose. You're not going to kick the ball in your own goal.
No, you're not going to play. No, obviously, I mean, the teams are going to come to win. But again, the assumption when you make up the groups originally in the World Cup is that teams like Argentina will come first. A team like Germany will be there, and a team like Uruguay, Portugal. Of course, Spain and Portugal played in the same group, so Portugal is there. Spain is on the easy side, by the way. They play Russia. Again, never easy to play the host, but a relatively easy way for Spain, at least until the semifinal, as it seems.
And Senegal could win a group. Japan could win a group.
Absolutely.
A lot at stake tonight.
Absolutely. Other than Poland, who are out, anyone can win this group, whether it's Colombia, Senegal, Japan, anyone can do it.
All right, very quickly, Brazil, they were one of the pre-World Cup favorites. They played very well yesterday. Based on what you saw, how is Brazil going to do moving forward?
I think they're fine. Against Mexico, they're wide favorites. Mexico usually does well on the group stage, and that's it.
Yeah,
so
and they got crushed yesterday. They backed their way in.
Exactly. So now at the round of 16, I see Brazil being big favorites there. And then you never know. Of course, you have to see who they face in the quarterfinals. I think Brazil is looking good. They can play much better than they did yesterday.
All right, Jonathan Regev.